Podcast, Episode 1. Train your mind to attract any woman without saying a word. That's right. Before you ever open your mouth, she already knows. Not through logic, through instinct. Because the human brain is designed to read subtle cues, posture, tone, stillness, micro-expressions. If your energy says insecure, eager to please, or lost, it's game over before the conversation even starts. But when your presence says, I'm whole, I don't chase, I choose, everything changes. In the animal world, confidence is silent, doubt is loud. Humans are no different, especially when it comes to attraction. So today on the Mental Gym, I'm going to teach you how to train your mind to become magnetically attractive. Not by what you say, but by who you are. Confidence isn't about saying the right thing. It's about thinking the right way. Your thoughts create your energy, and your energy speaks before your words do. Every time you tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or she's out of my league, you're programming your brain to shrink, to retreat, to hesitate. That's why you must replace doubt with repetition. Here's how you start. Each morning before the world influences you, influence yourself. Repeat these affirmations, not just once, but until your brain believes them. I am grounded. I am enough. I don't chase. I attract. I don't seek validation. I radiate certainty. This is not about being cocky. It's about being centered. Because the most magnetic men aren't the loudest. They're the most emotionally controlled. They know who they are. And that inner certainty makes them unpredictable and irresistible. So if you want her to feel something different around you, you must think something different within you. It always starts there. Attraction isn't logical, it's biological. And long before words, there are signals, micro-expressions, eye contact, stillness. These things trigger her instincts, not her intellect. Let's break this down. Your posture tells her if you see yourself as dominant or uncertain. Your eye contact tells her whether you're grounded or seeking approval. Your stillness tells her whether you're calm and composed or anxious to impress. Women are experts at reading these micro-signals, often without realizing it. Why? Because biologically, they've evolved to detect safety, strength, and status through nonverbal cues. So if your words say one thing, but your energy says another, she will believe your energy. That's why mental training is non-negotiable. Because if you don't control your inner state, your body will broadcast your insecurities without your permission. The moment you try to impress, you lose power. Because trying is chasing, and chasing is the opposite of attraction. True confidence doesn't seek approval. It creates gravity. When you walk into a room, your energy should say, I don't need anything from anyone. I'm here to observe, to lead, to choose. That doesn't mean arrogance, it means composure, and that's rare. Most men enter a room scanning for validation, looking around, trying to be noticed, laughing too loud, over-explaining. But the magnetic man, he leads with presence, not noise. And presence isn't something you fake. It's something you become through daily training of your thoughts, your breath, and your inner dialogue. Stop trying to be impressive. Start being unshakable. That's what draws her in. A man who can control his emotions controls the room. Because most people are reactive. They get triggered easily. They seek attention. They crave responses, but when you remain calm under pressure, when you don't react to petty things, when your peace cannot be disturbed, you become mysterious, and mystery creates tension. Tension creates attraction. If she pushes a boundary and you don't flinch, that speaks volumes. If someone disrespects you and you respond with strength, not anger, that earns respect. Control doesn't mean suppressing emotion. It means directing it. You still feel, but you don't explode. You still care, but you don't collapse. Women don't want perfection. They want a man whose inner world is stronger than his outer chaos. That's what makes her feel safe and drawn in. Attraction isn't something you do, it's something you are. That's why mental tricks and one-liners fail, because you can't fake identity. If you see yourself as insecure, unworthy, or invisible, she'll feel that, even if your words say the opposite. So stop asking, what should I say? Start asking, who am I becoming? This is where identity training begins. You don't act confident. You become the kind of man who naturally moves with confidence. You don't try to attract women. You become a man who women are drawn to without effort. Identity isn't about pretending. It's about aligning your actions, thoughts, and values every single day. Because the more consistent your inner world becomes, the more powerful your presence becomes. And that's when attraction becomes effortless. Stillness is misunderstood. It's not being passive. It's not being boring. It's not being too chill. Stillness is control. Stillness is restraint. Stillness is power under pressure. When a man is still, it means he's not chasing stimulation. He's not begging for attention. He's not reacting to every glance or comment. He's anchored. And that anchor, that calm energy, is rare in a world full of noise, distractions, and men who overcompensate. Women notice it immediately. They may not know why, but they feel it. Because stillness tells a story. I'm not here to take, I'm here to observe, I'm here to choose. When you train your mind to become still, to pause, breathe, observe, you create a magnetic field. It's the pause that makes her lean in, the silence that makes her curious, the restraint that makes her chase. You don't need to be rich. You don't need to be tall. You don't need to be the loudest, funniest, or most impressive man in the room. You need to be present. You need to be mentally trained. You need to master your energy, because women don't fall for words. They fall for the way a man makes them feel without saying anything. When your thoughts are grounded, when your identity is solid, when your presence is calm and unshakable, you create emotional safety. You create polarity. You create attraction. And all of that starts in the mind. That's why this is the mental gym. Not a place for gimmicks or tricks, a place where you train the one thing that changes everything, your inner world. So if you're ready to become the kind of man who doesn't chase, but attracts effortlessly, subscribe now. Join the movement and train your mind every single day. Your future self and your future relationships are waiting.